Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. I'm Kevin Kietzman on a sunny, soon-to-be warm day. We'll take this, the warmest day of December so far, and maybe will be the warmest day of September. I will be getting in some lawn work that didn't get done before that snow came. Yes, indeed. Still got a bunch of leaves around. Can't be the only one that has that, so we're cleaning those up later today. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your day, and we appreciate you listening every single day right here on KCMO Talk Radio. Got a nice show lined up for you today, including information and news about these meetings and things going on with the Royals to Overland Park. We'll get into on the show today. We will talk a little bit about the city of Kansas City, Missouri policy of no religious decorations this holiday season anywhere at City Hall or in city offices. Oh, I got a tough one for Mark today. I'm going to ask him the question at the end of the show, should the Chiefs release Harrison Butker this offseason? It's a real question. He's the highest paid guy in the league, and it ain't working. We got a lot to talk about. It's going to be a really nice and really fun show, so we're glad you're here. We also would love to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow at Beck's Place in Overland Park from 4 to 6, we're doing a happy hour. Just listeners, come on out. I'll be there. Mundo's going to be there. Mark, John, you guys going maybe? Maybe they're going 50-50. Do we know?
Might be there, yeah.
Might be there. Get a little parlay advice from Mark. Beck's is at 87th Street, just west of Antioch. It's a pretty central location for anyone that lives in the metro area. We would love to see you there from 4 to 6 tomorrow. Come on by. They got great burgers there. Get a burger, get an appetizer, get an iced tea, cold beer, whatever you like. It's the holiday season, and your friends from KCMO Talk Radio want to say hi to you. We just want to come out and mingle a little bit. I think it's the spirit of the holiday season, so please come see us tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m., at Beck's Place in Overland Park. I'm very much looking forward to that. And as it were, luckily, that's really actually pretty close. For me, that's a pretty convenient spot. So we're looking forward to that. There used to be a place not too far from there we used to go to way back in the day called the Field House. With some KU guys built a place called the Field House. And there were some really, really fun times in there watching sports. But I understand Beck's on game day is a really fun place to be as well. So we check it out tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you 4 to 6 p.m. at Beck's. All right, let's start with these. There's dueling stories here that took place yesterday with the Royals to Overland Park. And the whole thing is just getting absurd, and I think we know that. The date for activation of the Star Bonds in Kansas is June 30th, 2026. I think that's been an underreported part of the story. There is a difference between accepting a proposal or a request for proposal and the activation of the Star Bonds. So the actual activation, if the Royals were to confirm, yes, we're moving to Kansas, or if the Chiefs were actually to confirm we're going to Kansas, is now June 30th of next year. But according to Time Masters and others in Kansas, they need to know by December 31st what your intentions are. Tell us what you're doing. And so they're describing that as something, I guess, a little bit different in that we need to know what the plan is going to be, and we'll work toward it and have 6 months to go work on this and do this. That's all well and good. That all sounds well and good, except yesterday in Leawood, in very typical fashion, a whole bunch of older white people showed up at City Hall and stood there and said, you know what? The Royals in Kansas is great. It'd be perfect for Olathe. It'd be awesome for KCK. But, we just don't think that's going to work out here in Leawood. You know what I'm saying? The least surprising story of 2025 in Kansas City is that Leawood residents don't want the Royals moving to 119th and Knoll. Remember, the stadium itself would actually be in Overland Park. Leawood is across the street, but they want no part of this. At the exact same time, look, this is not scientific, folks. All right? This is just all information to digest. Some people in Overland Park go online and they start a change.org petition to get the Royals. We want them at 119th and Knoll. Okay? And they sent it to the Royals, and they sent it to the mayor, Kurtz Goog. They sent it to John Sherman. They've sent it to Royals management. They're waiting to hear back from them. But basically, it's an online petition. If you want the Royals to go to 119th and Knoll, and you don't even have to live in Overland Park, I don't think. Maybe you do. I don't know. I didn't vote. I didn't support it. I didn't sign the petition. Mark, you want to take a shot at how many signatures they have?
Couple thousand?
56.
Oh, it's not good.
What do you think their goal is?
To be a pain in the butt?
No, the goal of how many people will sign it.
Oh.
What's their target? What's their goal?
It has to be 5,000, right?
Their goal is 100 signatures.
What?
Yes.
How?
I can walk this building after the show today, H level, every business here, and get 100 signatures for something. Couldn't I?
Yeah.
For something.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something. It's unbelievable. So change.org has the single most embarrassing petition ever in favor of the Royals at 119th and all. Now, I thought yesterday was going to be the day that the Royals would go, ooh, this doesn't look good. Look at all these old farts here in Leawood, not very happy with what's going on. And boy, there was a silvered hair convention inside that joint. And these people were not very happy. And they gave some very good reasons. It's all fine. I'm not making fun of old people. I'm an old person. I can do this. I'm old, so I can make fun of it. It's good. And I understand that those are the folks that are more committed to issues like this, and they care more. As you get older, you care more. So I'm not making fun of them other than just it was very predictable what it would be. And they showed up, and there was maybe up to 300 of them. And it was real. And you would think, okay, they're trying to get the Royals' attention here, that they don't want the Royals to move there. Well, I know a little secret about major league franchises. They don't care what you don't like at all. They just flat don't care, which is why I'll ask the question later, should the Chiefs release Harrison Butker this offseason? Maybe he'd sign a new contract and kick for less and could stay or something like that. But, it's a question you ask. They don't care what you don't like. Do we really miss the punter from the first Super Bowl? No, he's gone, and he's making good money and doing his career, but he's not here. That's a thing in sports. They don't care what you don't like. They want to know what you like. What will you support? What will you spend your money on? And I will offer up a change.org petition for the Royals in Overland Park by Overland Park residents to move to 119th and Null, having 56 signatures and only looking for 100, trying to catch the Royals' attention. I can actually argue that is way more powerful in keeping the Royals from going there than what happened in Leawood. Because if the Royals are looking at people that are supporting this in Overland Park and they see a total snooze, like nobody's on board with that, that's a lot more powerful than the squeaky wheels, the loud people that go and complain and go to City Hall and whatever. I love those people. I respect those people. They're good folks. It's democracy. It's community involvement. We should all be more involved. I get all that. The Royals should absolutely be terrified that there is an online petition for them to move to 119th and Null and relocate. And boy, this change.org thing, it's overwritten. There's like 5 different things they write about. It's so overdone. Like somebody has so much time on their hands to put something like that together. It's too much to read. You can't even read it all. It's so much. It could have been one paragraph. Sign here if you think the Royals coming to 119th and Null in Overland Park would just kick butt for Overland Park and Johnson County. They could have done it like that, but they didn't. It's overbaked. It's overdone. And they've only got 56 people that have signed it at change.org. I would think that would catch the Royals' attention a lot more than pretty much anything else. I guess we'll see. Maybe something happens here. A lot of folks here, Ty Masters is not commenting at this point in Kansas. Doesn't want to talk about it. Pete tried to get him on the show. It didn't happen today. He's had a great relationship with Ty, and he's been on many times talking about this. It can only mean 2 things, and I don't know which. It can mean, 1, he's trying to figure out his strategy for neither team is coming to Kansas. We got nothing in the works, and this thing is dying December 31st unless we extend it again. Or 2, we're so close to crossing the T's and dotting the I's that everybody has entered into a 30-day period where nobody talks. And that is very common when deals get done. Very common. Everybody signs an agreement. Everybody at the table. Probably talk about meetings with a dozen people in there. We're all signing this document. Nobody's talking. You don't tell your wife. You don't tell your kids. You don't talk to the media. We're going silent for 30 days. I don't know which it is, but the fact that it is happening makes it almost seem like it's really close now. Like maybe the December 31st thing is a real deadline. All it really takes is an announcement of an intention. It doesn't require anything concrete. Either the Royals or Chiefs, if they wanted to announce, we believe in 7 months, we'll have this all ironed out and we'll sign an agreement with the state of Kansas. We're moving toward this. Here's our rendering. Here's what we're thinking. This is where we want to do it. This is what we like. All they got to do is commit to it by December 31st now. They got till the end of June to get it going, to activate the star bonds. That's when everything has to be signed and done. So, in a way, something feels like it's close to either yes or no with these teams on Kansas. And if either one of them or both of them are yes, we're going to be in limbo another 7 months to know if it's finalized, because it won't be finalized. And I've said this all along. If the Royals are really entertaining 119th and null, they should announce this by the end of the year. They should do it. They should say our intention is to go to Overland Park, 119th and null. That does not eliminate North Kansas City, nor does it eliminate Washington Square Park, because the deal has until June 30th next year to be done. The Royals could change their mind. They can back out and go to Missouri if a vote passes, for example, in April. Remember, a vote has to pass somewhere in Missouri for either one of these teams. We just sit here and go, oh, well, the Chiefs are going to renovate because it's going to be less money. And the Chiefs can't get that Missouri money unless Jackson County or Kansas City has a vote and puts money in. They can't do it. So I don't know where this all is, but it's crazy and it's frustrating. And maybe the most telling sign I've seen yet is a change.org petition for people on board with the Royals to Overland Park, and nobody's signing it. Like literally nobody thinks it's a good idea at this point at change.org. 913-408-7957. That's 913-408-7957. Maybe you think you know what's going to happen. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We can do that next on KCMO.
From Overland Park to Parkville, it's Kevin Kietzman, Uncanceled, on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
All right, we're back on KCMO Talk Radio. Just got a call from a gentleman off the air who's donating a bicycle, Mark says, to the toy drive that's happening in Excelsior Springs at Roberts Robinson Chevrolet GMC. Those are friends of mine up there at that dealership, and every year they do a toy drive for kids in the area. Last week, I went up there and filled up. They've got a GMC Canyon on the showroom floor that's filling up with toys. It's pretty cool. And my mom, this sounds really weird, okay, but this is just where we went. My mom needed to go to the dollar store. I said, great, Mom, I'll take you to the dollar store. And we go to the dollar store. I'm like, wow, look at all these toys in here for $5 and whatnot. Not everything there's $1 anymore. I think there were some Monopoly games for $7. I mean, there were some nice things, stuffed animals for $7. And I loaded up. I mean, I just loaded up like 7 bags of stuff from the dollar store and dropped them off at Roberts Robinson. We'd be honored if you helped out with that toy drive in any way that you can. It's in Excelsior Springs. You probably know where it is if you live in that area. And that's awesome. A guy's going to drop off a bike. That's pretty cool. We want new toys unwrapped. Don't wrap them because they'd have to unwrap them to give them to the kids. In fact, some of mine still had like the price tag stickers on them. They'll take those off. The charity folks will do all that. So it's just a great idea. And if you can help out or you live near Excelsior Springs and, Liberty, Kearney, St. Joe, wherever, help us out a little bit there with the toy drive at Roberts Robinson Chevrolet GMC. And thank you to the gentleman who called and said, I'm donating a bicycle. We greatly appreciate that. There is no question that the people that want to attack Christmas are losing. They're losing at every turn. Now, the world is getting more hostile toward Christians. I won't debate that. So I'm not talking about a macro issue. I'm simply talking about in our culture in the United States. If you go back about 10 years or maybe even longer and used to watch, let's say Bill O'Reilly, the O'Reilly Factor or something, you remember this time of year, he was constantly on, it's okay to say Merry Christmas and not Happy Holidays or whatever. There was this huge attack that Merry Christmas is offensive. Don't say it. Just say Happy Holidays. You remember that. That's long gone. Like, I was at Nordstrom Rack the other day with my wife, and we go through, and we bought a couple of items there, and we get done and put it in there, and I say Merry Christmas to the gentleman behind the counter, and he says Merry Christmas right back to me. It was very nice. Most people just aren't going to be offended by that. Would a Christian be upset or offended if somebody said Happy Hanukkah? No, that isn't how it works. It's not how it works. When it's something about peace and love and goodness and joy, you can't really get offended. And if you do, that's your problem. So I say it everywhere I go, and I would encourage everyone to do that. These people are losing this battle, and it's killing them. They're doing crazy things everywhere. The latest is the University of Oklahoma, where a teaching professor, William Mel Kurth, who goes by she, they. Let me do that one more time for you. William, nickname Mel, Kurth, goes by she, they, has been removed from the classroom at Oklahoma. This was last week's story. It's now been updated. He gave a 0. I'm sorry, they gave a 0. She gave us a... they. The professor gave a 0 to Samantha Fulnecki, who wrote an essay making Christian references and the Bible in it. And she got a 0. I think it's been posted online. I think it's a beautiful essay. Most professors, I would think, would score it an A. Some might even give it A+. So this person was removed from the classroom because Samantha came forward. And the University of Oklahoma was like, yeah, we got a problem in our hand. Remember, Oklahoma was the number 1 Trump state. Like even more than like Idaho and Wyoming. So it's numero uno. So Samantha comes forward and she's okay, we're going to take care of her. That's fine. He's removed from the classroom. So they have a rally for she, they on campus. And another professor allows excused absences that day for students to go to that rally. That's when the Turning Point USA student director at Oklahoma came into that classroom and said, can I have an excused absence? And that professor said no. Only the people on the pro side of the rally. That professor's been removed from the classroom. The University of Oklahoma is taking these people down. I don't know who they think they are. I don't know why they think they can do this. It is inherently non-inclusive. You're terrible people for doing this. And they're doing it because they're losing and they know it. Live your life as she, they, William. Teach the kids what's in the book. Grade them fairly and go home. That's the job position. I don't understand. Why get involved in this? There's hundreds of examples now of people getting in trouble at work or getting fired for pushing this kind of stuff and doing this. I guess I'm mostly just shocked at how smart they think they are and maybe how good their IQs are, how high they are, or the college that they went to and all these things, and how stupid they are out walking around in the real world. Because it's just blatant unfairness to do that to any student. And then it's even worse after they start a rally for this she-they that we're going to allow students who want to support the rally for she-they to go be excused today, but not those that have opposing views and want to stand across the street with signs in favor of terminating the person. That professor's probably in more trouble than the original one. That's just as bad as it gets. And it's everywhere. Which leads me to this tease. We learned last week that it's all over City Hall in Kansas City, Missouri. Mario Vasquez, the new city manager, this is not good. I'll explain the entire story. You may have heard this story, but what's going on with it now and where it leads and why Kwanzaa is okay, but a cross is not at City Hall. We're going to do a little history lesson here on why Kwanzaa was founded, and you're not going to believe it. I promise. You don't know probably much about Kwanzaa. You're about to learn because it's okay at City Hall, but putting up a cross or any Christian religious symbol or Jewish is not allowed. That's next right here. This is Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio. We're back after the news.
Hey, it's Vince Gallane's Catch My News Show at 11 o'clock after Kevin Kietzman on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
So I was going to let this story go. I saw it last week, and I thought, no, it's not, because I get a little wound up on some of these. And this is, again, the same as the last story at the University of Oklahoma. Their side losing and in a free-fall panic doing weird things that don't need to be done. In sports, you call it an unforced error. You do something dumb, something bad happens that the opponent didn't do to you, really. You just did it because you were either stupid or did something dumb or whatever may be the case. And this is Kansas City, Missouri, and the new city manager, Mario Vasquez, who last week sent a memo to city employees letting them know that all of the decorations that will be up at City Hall and all the buildings in Kansas City, Missouri, will be things like Christmas trees, lights, poinsettias. Those are fine. And then wrote at least a paragraph or more and a quote in it that was completely unnecessary and offensive to many people, not just Christians. But it was targeted at Christians. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. It said, we will not be allowing, or we will not be putting up any religious symbols. No crosses. I would guess the manger scene is no good. There's all kinds of things that are around Christmas that are fundamentally religious, or around Hanukkah and the other holidays. Then, after basically saying no Christians, no Jews, we're going to put up some Kwanzaa stuff. We're just going to go ahead and do it because, that's non-religious. And so we're going to put up the Kwanzaa symbol. They've got a 7-candle logo, which is for each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa. They celebrate something different. I'm not against anybody anywhere forming any group that they want to celebrate whatever they want. Sounds very American to me. But let me tell you a little bit about the group that is allowed in Kansas City, Missouri, while pointing out, the city manager points out that any Christian symbols will not be featured by the city. Now, it doesn't specifically say, you're going to be sent home if you put them in your cubicle. Nathan Willett is the council member in District 1 in the Northland, and he's just beside himself. Quote, couldn't be more disgusted by this memo that came out. And it's more of a guideline. It's not a directive. I don't know what happens if you work in a cubicle and you put up a cross or a manger scene or whatever. I don't know what happens in your personal workspace. That seems a little unclear at this point, but there's no question the memo is telling you, you really shouldn't push us on this. We're not putting it up because, we're the city and we're so much better than everyone else. We want to point out to you how great we are and how smart we are and how inclusive we are because, we don't want to offend anybody. We must have safe spaces. He even mentioned the term. It's ridiculous. Safe space needs to go in the dustbin. That term just needs to disappear unless we're literally talking about like a police station is a safe space. There are safe spaces, but that's not what they're talking about in these things. So this guy does this, and then he goes out of his way to say Kwanzaa will be accepted. It's not religious. We're separating the church and state. Let me tell you a little bit about Kwanzaa. It was founded in 1966 by Maulana Karenga, who wrote, Christianity is a white religion and black Americans should shun it. Quote, Jesus was psychotic, unquote. So we're going to celebrate the African-American holiday that was founded by a man who staunchly and proudly said Jesus was psychotic until he eventually changed his mind because what he found was there's a whole lot of black Americans that are Christian and they'd kind of like to participate in Kwanzaa. It's a celebration of culture, African countries, African traditions. It's all part of the thing, but he wasn't getting as many members as he thought. So he ran this thing for 31 years, and then in 1997, he changed his mind and said, okay, we'll allow Christians in because he wasn't getting near the traction that he wanted. But he mostly wants black Christians. But make no mistake about it, for 31 years, Kwanzaa, the founder, his teachings were for anyone that joins, Jesus was psychotic, and Christianity is a white religion, and we should shun it. How is Kwanzaa not a religious statement? I mean, we took down statues in the South Jessica used to listen to a band called Lady Antebellum. They changed their name to Lady A because Antebellum somehow harkens back to slavery. If we're going to do that, if we can harken everything back to something, how's Kwanzaa not identified with Karenga, who thought Jesus was psychotic and Christianity is only for white people? So not only is he anti-Christian, he's a racist because that religion's only for white people and not for us. This is it. This is how Kwanzaa started. It's how it was founded. It's an inconvenient truth. A lot of people don't want to hear it. They don't want to know it. Here's the thing in our society. When, we'll just say the majority, because we're still a majority white country, okay? When the majority has something go against them, it just is ignored. Everybody ignores it. And I'm not even saying we should like rise up. Oh, white people are oppressed. This is terrible. That's not my point here. But until we start pointing these things out to someone like Mario Vasquez, who I'm guaranteeing you has no idea that this was founded and run for 31 years as an anti-Christian organization, there is no bigger definition of religious holiday than making up your own religious holiday because you hate the other one. It's the alternative to Christmas. Shun Christmas. Get away from those white people. Stop now. There's nothing more religious than that. I'm telling you, I saw that story last Thursday. I've had it buried in the back of my mind. I couldn't get out of my head. And I thought, you know what? I didn't see until late yesterday that Kwanzaa was okay. And that's what set me off. The rest of it, I think I can just ignore. If the city just wants to put up trees and poinsettias and not have crosses and other religious symbols, I'm good with that. It stinks. It's dumb, whatever. But I can probably just turn the other way and walk from it. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, they're allowing Kwanzaa and they're saying it's a non-religious holiday. Well, I was just dangerous enough to know that it's not a non-religious holiday. I've known this before. I knew just enough about Kwanzaa to know what it was rooted in and how it was founded. And then I started researching and I'm like, oh, this is really bad. This is really bad. These people had really bad intentions toward Christians and white people. Really bad. So I wonder what would happen if a white person at City Hall filed a complaint about Kwanzaa symbols at City Hall. If you know anybody in Kansas City, Missouri that's white and Christian and can't put up their manger scene or a cross this Christmas season at their cubicle or their desk or their office, and they walk by a Kwanzaa candle, I don't know what they call it. They got a name for it. I've got it written down here somewhere. My notes are so messed up here today. I don't even know the name of it's a nice logo. I'll give them credit. It's cool. And it talks about virtues, 7 good days of things that we're thankful for. Non-religiously now. We're not really thanking a higher being. We're just thankful to have food and, life and all these important things. We're not going to ask the question how and why. We're just going to celebrate that we have it. So that's good. What on earth? What would happen if a white Christian in Kansas City, Missouri filed a complaint? I'm offended by this Kwanzaa stuff that was started by racists that hate Christians. Because it's absolutely 100% true. Absolutely. 913-408-7957 if you have any thoughts on that. The viral video of the guy that went crazy on the Royal Caribbean ship last year has resurfaced. It's been, what was it, earlier this year? It's like 7 or 8 months old since he died. Have you seen the video, Mark?
Yeah, it's been a minute, but I remember it.
Yeah. So it's resurfacing now because his family is suing Royal Caribbean. The autopsy ruled this a homicide. So this guy, Michael Virgil, big, huge, strong, younger guy, but largely overweight and just really incredibly strong, had 33 cocktails. 33. Now, maybe the lawsuit should just be you overserved him. That's a totally different lawsuit than you killed him. He goes crazy. He attacks 2 crew members, beats them up, threatens to kill a bunch of them, gets off the elevator on the wrong floor, is at the wrong place trying to kick into a towel room where he thinks one of the employees went, and he looks like he's probably strong enough to kick the door down, and he's working on it, and now there's like 15 security people in the hallway on both sides of him. He's trapped, but not a single person in the security detail is willing to go up to him. He is shirtless. He is hammered. He's crazy. Like he's lost it. And they're like, okay, eventually, let's just let him go. He's going to tire out. Just think about what you would do if you had like a wild animal trapped. Eventually, they're just going to wear down. So they're waiting on this. They'll pop him with a little pepper spray here and there or do something. But like literally nobody wanted to get within 5 feet of him or 10 feet of him. Just let him go. And they do. And it goes on and on and on. And eventually, they pepper him. They get him on the ground and they zip tie his hands. So now they've subdued him. And the family is claiming that Royal Caribbean gave him a sedative at this point. I don't know what that looks like. It wouldn't be ingested. So you're telling me they injected a shot into him? If they injected some sort of a shot into him, I'm all for the family, I guess, on the lawsuit. You probably shouldn't be doing that even to a crazy person to sedate him. That doesn't. Now, maybe in international waters, you can do whatever you want. I don't really know how that works. But the dude died an hour later. Just died an hour later. This is going to be one of the most interesting lawsuits ever. You would think that Royal Caribbean would quietly just pay it off, settle it in some way. I don't know, but the video's everywhere out there, and it is a wild. Don't drink 33 drinks on a cruise ship. That's the bottom line. If I'm a juror, I'd be in the jury room with the other 11. I'd be a real problem because I'd be like, now, wait a second. Does any of this happen if he doesn't drink 33 drinks? And the other 11 people are like, yeah, but they gave him a sedative. I'm like, no. Would any of this happen if that idiot hadn't ingested on his own 33 drinks? Now, if we want to talk about being culpable for over-serving someone, Royal Caribbean swipes his card every time, whatever. They know. They obviously found out how many drinks he had. That was easy for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, if it's all inclusive, too, then you got to be able to kind of be careful with that.
I think I heard one time somebody say that if you buy the drinks package, you can get up to 15 drinks in 24 hours, that's the maximum.
Yeah, you got to cut it off.
I don't know what the number is. And everybody's different. This guy definitely looked like he could drink 33 drinks. I'm not going to lie.
And if you had a friend that wasn't drinking, you could get theirs,
Yeah.
Get around it.
Sure. This dude looks like he should be sitting, well, he looked like he should have been sitting next to Joey Chestnut at the hot dog eating contest. That's what he looked like. And he's no longer with us. That's going to be a wild lawsuit. All right, we come back. Mark's had almost 45 minutes to think about this. We talked about Andy Reid yesterday. I'll maybe just bring up a different name every day this week on whether everybody's just talking about Travis Kelce. Well, no. There's more than that. There's a whole lot of salaries out there at Arrowhead that they could sure clean things up if they're going to reboot and move on to Patrick Mahomes 2.0, because that's what the Patriots did, and that's what the Chiefs will have to do. They're going to need a complete reboot around their quarterback. We'll find out what his answer is about the Chiefs' high-priced kicker next on KCMO.
From Smithville to Shawnee Mission, it's Kevin Kietzman, Uncanceled, on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
All right, Mark, you haven't given up like I have on the Chiefs. You were actually trying to figure out a way today for them to still win 4 games and get in. I'm like, they can't win 4 games. I hate to tell you, they're not that good.
That's the tough part.
Yeah, can't win those 4 games. So I think this will be a really interesting offseason for the Chiefs. I don't think you just put the band back together and come back next year and say, oh, we'll just play better next year. You think they're due for a makeover?
Yeah, they're going to have to do something. I don't know what, but they're going to have to do something to switch it up.
A big part of that, because you're paying your quarterback so much money, he's not going anywhere, is cutting the rest of the roster and bringing the salaries down and trying to find better, younger players. Harrison Butker's in focus today right here on Uncanceled because he's in the middle, not quite in the middle yet. He hasn't finished his second year of a 4-year, $25.6 million contract that guarantees him almost $18 million. It's $6.4 million annually, so assuming it's $6.4 million next year, you can get a kicker for $5 million less than that. The statistics are what they are. He has missed 8 kicks this year. Josh Carty has missed 8. Blake Group has missed 8, and they both got cut from their teams. So what are you going to do with your kicker?
I think you got to bring in competition. They did that with Ariza, I think it was. They brought him in, and he's not paid very much, I don't think. So I think you can bring in a kicker that can compete with them. And as long as they have it so that they have it by the cut date so they save the money. I don't have that all in my head. But
the guaranteed money can be sent out over time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's no question changing kickers would save them money. The question is how much, and is it worth taking the chance? Will Butker return to what he was? One of the things they don't talk about in Kansas City very often is, remember he got hurt because of his technique, the way he was kicking, the way he was planting. He had knee problems and stuff. He's never really come back from that. They changed his mechanics, wanted him to kick a different way, and when he was doing it, as he's done it differently, he's never been the same.
Yeah.
So this is partly an injury thing as well, or a risk of injury thing. I love Harrison Butker. Don't get me wrong. I'd love for him to be the kicker that he was, and if he were the best kicker in the league, there's no way we'd do anything other than keep him. I've seen 10 teams this year with kickers I'd die to have. They're just hitting bombs.
Yeah.
And if that were his contract and he were doing that, I'm on board with it. But I feel like the Chiefs this offseason may blow this thing up and say we're on a 2 to 3 year plan to get where we need to be, because you won't be able to fix it by next year. It's going to take more drafting. I was already discussing with you, you might as well lose your last 4 games.
I can't do that yet, but
I mean,
if they lose to the Chargers, for sure.
If you lose them all, you move up 10, 12 spots in the draft?
Yeah.
And how expensive is it to move up 10 or 12 spots in the draft? That usually costs you a really great player. You just do it by, just don't catch passes. They've been pretty good at that. Yeah. 10 straight incompletions the other night. Nobody will think a thing. They'll just think it's normal business. Just keep dropping passes. Everything is good. What's this I hear about Phillip Rivers? Mark Van Sickle. Is he really trying out for the Colts today?
I think he tried out for him last night. Grandpa Phil, he has a 2-year-old grandchild. And, I guess he's trying out for the Colts because Riley Leonard, their rookie quarterback, got hurt last week after Daniel Jones went out. And, I guess they're going for 44-year-old Phil Rivers.
Phillip Rivers hasn't played football in 5 years. In 5 years. There have been 4 quarterbacks aged 44 or older play in the NFL. How many can you name?
I think
one's a gimme.
Jeff George, right?
Tom Brady.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, yeah.
Was
Tom
Jeff
Brady.
George one of them?
No. Vinny Testaverde.
Vinny? Okay, I wouldn't have thought
that.
that.
You're going to remember you may not. You're younger. Warren Moon played till he was really old.
Warren Moon, yeah.
Yeah.
I should have figured that one.
And Steve DeBerg of the Chiefs.
Steve DeBerg, I remember that.
And about 7 other teams he played for. Steve DeBerg was one of the nicest people I ever met in football. He did not have bad days. He always had that little unassuming smile on his face. Couldn't have been nice. He treated everybody the same. Steve DeBerg was awesome and loved playing football.
He was my quarterback on Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Him and my running back, Christian Okoye.
He just loved to play, man.
Love those guys.
Eli Drinkwitz unloaded on the Outkick podcast yesterday. He said, what do you think? You're taking a bowl game. You're going to go ahead and play in the Gator Bowl against Virginia. He goes, that whole anytime, any place, any opponent thing, I guess that's for some teams and not others. It's for us. Because all these teams have turned down bowl games.
And KU declined one. That was probably a shot at KU, right? A little bit.
I think, Notre Dame probably.
That too.
I think everybody likes to pick on Notre Dame if they can. So we appreciate that. Have you heard of booster insurance?
No.
It has nothing to do with the COVID shot. booster insurance.
For like NIL?
They've invented it at Arkansas. John Calipari's doing it. The head coach at Arkansas. If you have $1 million player for $30,000, 3% of the contract, Lloyd's of London will underwrite that player against injury. If he gets injured before January 15th and can't finish, you get all the money back. If it's February 15th, you get half of it back. And the money goes to the booster who gave the money.
It's not bad.
Booster insurance. Oh, you just got to love college athletics, don't you? The Vince Show's coming up next. Thanks for listening to Uncanceled. This is KCMO Talk Radio. Have a great day.